What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid-techno. Though we are going to listen to a tune by Pete Skank, sometimes just goes by the name Skank, or went by the name Skank. Yeah, so his tunes are often what I would call acid-techno on the edge of hard acid. I think they're right sort of on the border between hard acid and acid-techno, like normal or proper. But it's interesting. He doesn't really make acid techno or like dance music anymore, so far as I know. And indeed, I think in the last decade or so, he's been involved in the production of like rock music. I forget the name of his group. He was like the main. I think he was, sort of the guitarist and, maybe the drummer as well. Like basically, he was the main guy in this sort of kind of industrial rock project. I'm forgetting the name. But back in the day, he was one of the bearded acid warriors of peace, or is it for peace? I forget the preposition, but there's really a record label called Bearded Acid Warriors, either of peace or for peace, and he was one of those guys. Made tunes that were hard driving, wickedly acidic. One of his most famous tracks, Stay in Bed Forever, which I mentioned it when I reacted to it on my old channel. It seems like it's maybe a shot at Stay Up Forever, but I don't think it was. I think it's just, being cheeky, being sort of silly. But bottom line, his tunes are anything but cheeky and silly. They are like serious, marauding, acid, just thunderbolts. Although it's interesting, he did also there's the tune on the flip side of Stay in Bed Forever. It's called E.T. Likes LSD, and that's a very different tune. It's like slow, it's tripped out, it's sort of like real, like cerebral, kind of trippy acid techno. So yeah, he made great acid music. I'm trying to remember, I want to say it was like mid-2000s is like the last time you see him involved in like a techno record. And then again, a few years after that, he sort of emerges making like industrial rock, producing and mixing like rock records and so on. It seems he continued in music, but sort of moved away from the sort of like squad party acid sort of vibe that he was involved in. But this is a tune from that era. This is very much, again, hard acid, not club night, but much more like squad party, dirty acid techno banger. So we're going to listen to a tune called People Are Weird. It is essentially an homage to, or an acid techno cover of, People Are Strange by The Doors. It's on Headcase Records, Headcase number 6, P.O. Box 303, London W2 3ZP. But yeah, I love that they got somehow a P.O. Box of 303. Maybe that's just a piss take, I'm not sure. But like I said, this is Headcase number 6. Skank is the artist, and the track is People Are Weird, though I don't know which side People Are Weird is on, so this might be... Yeah, I think it's the B side. I'll know pretty quickly, but yeah, this might not be the right track. It is the right track. Love that, like, really fast rhythm of the bass. fantastic acid work. Like a bullfrog acid bass line. Industrial horror movie underneath the acid. It's croaking away. Felt like we were listening to the Doors song like on an abandoned alien wasteland planet. It just sounds like post-apocalyptic destruction. And that bass rolling in. Like unconcerned with what anything else. It's just like have a dark story to tell. If you're interested, great. If not, whatever. Basically, it's not like flashy. It's not catchy. It's not accessible. It's just This is a cool, sort of characteristic or eccentric outro, such that you can definitely use it to end a mix. That layer, which it's essentially like the connection to the original, which is sort of like unwound, and you can actually almost hear it regular, although it still sounds again like it's through like an old jukebox, like through a time machine. But I really do love that layer, even when it's like so sort of tightly wound that like you can barely recognize it for what it is. So yeah, shout out to Pete Skank. An interesting and definitely, like, I'm gonna say unique in this colloquial way, like, because unique, it literally means one of a kind. Like, if there's anything else like it, then it's not unique. But I'll say he was one of the more original acid techno producers in terms of, like, again, he was making tracks that weren't necessarily like clear dance floor burners so much as they were just like acid, like hard acid, like madness. So yeah, I respect his sort of creative vision as an acid techno producer. Never listened to much of that rock music I mentioned that I'm aware in like the last decade or so he's been involved in. But yeah, maybe one day I'll check that out. But bottom line, shout out to him for all the great acid music back in the day, as well as the other bearded acid warriors of or for peace. But yeah, let me know what you think of the tune. Other than that, I will see you next time. Peace.